Tonight at 10, multiple shootings in central Arkansas have kept police on the move. The path of this weekend's crime in less than a minute.
Breaking barriers in education. I'm Julissa Garza with the story of how a group of moms are doing just that for Spanish-speaking families.
President Biden pays special tribute to Queen Elizabeth ahead of her funeral. I'm Terry Okita in London with final preparations for an event unlike any the world has ever seen.
Nearly a month after a fire destroyed the Grove Food Pantry, volunteers now have a temporary location to serve hungry families. I'm Brooke Buckner, and I'll show you how they're doing it coming up.
One man is dead tonight following a shooting in broad daylight at a Southwest Little Rock gas station. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ashley Godwin. Just before noon, Little Rock police tell us they responded to a shooting at the Murphy Express on Baseline Road. There, they found 30-year-old Ernesto Olmos shot. Olmos was transported to a nearby hospital where he died from his injuries. And in an update on a story we told you last night, we now know the shooting that happened on John Barrow Road happened inside the Taco Bell around 4 a.m. 27-year-old Stephen Dillard has been arrested and charged with capital murder and the killing of a man. Police have still not released his identity. And we're still working to get more information about a shooting that happened this afternoon. It was near Little Rock's Canis Park. Little Rock police tell us it was a part of a road rage incident on I-630. Those involved got off on the nearest exit. A person from one of those cars shot a gun at people from the other car. No one is reported injured right now. And up in Conway, police are looking into a shooting that happened there just after 2 a.m. this morning. Police say a fight started the shooting, which left one person with injuries. They're expected to be okay. Police are still looking for those involved suspects who fled the scene. And we'll provide updates on those developing stories right here on THV11 and THV11.com.
We just want justice. I just want to talk to the person and ask them why. Was it worth it? Was it worth you taking his life?
The family of Terry Credit are still looking for answers 6 years after his murder. It happened several days after his 50th birthday in August of 2016. Police got a call that shots were fired at a trailer home park in Conway at 2:30 in the morning. When they got there, they found a white mask laying on the ground and the front door open to one of the homes. Inside was Terry Credit dead. Tuesday night at 10, join me as we look into the unsolved murder of Terry Credit and how police are using new technology to try and uncover the killer.
New at 10, police are investigating a double homicide overnight near downtown Little Rock. What we know so far.
Before you step out the door, back to work and back to school on Monday, you might be looking for a light jacket. The coolest air of the season is building into Arkansas. I'll let you know how long it's going to stick around coming up.
21 years ago today, terrorists hijacked and crashed planes into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and an empty field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Today, we remember.
A day we will never forget. I'm Frederick Price with how one fire department is honoring the fallen heroes who risked their lives 21 years ago.
Plus, the 11th day of the month means it's time for Buddy Check 11. Just ahead, we'll show you how you can get a life-saving breast cancer screening right in your own backyard.
Police tell us that 2 people are dead and a 15-year-old has been arrested, all in connection to the deaths of a Little Rock couple. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Horbakowitz. Police say last night they were called to a home on South Louisiana Street just after 9:30 p.m. When they arrived, they found Lawrence and Deborah Wright dead inside the home. North Little Rock officers then assisted in arresting a 15-year-old in connection to those killings. We now know tonight that the 15-year-old will be charged as an adult on 2 counts of first-degree murder. And right now, authorities in Saline County are looking for an escaped inmate wanted for a Nebraska murder. Now, take a good look at this photo right here. Saline County sheriffs are looking for Wyaye Smith. Smith escaped from the Saline County Jail this morning before 11 a.m. He was last seen headed north away from the jail, wearing nothing but black and white striped pants and white shoes. Smith may have visible wounds. He is 5'8" tall and has a neck neck tattoo that reads "Death Before Dishonor." Smith is considered to be dangerous, so if you see him, call 911.
A cold front made its way through the region this afternoon, and you can certainly feel the difference out there this evening. Look at these temperatures across the natural state. Already down to 56 in Fayetteville, it's 63 in Searcy, 64 in Russellville, and that cooler, less humid air building its way in here from the north and northwest. Those dew points have also been dropping. Remember, the higher the number, the more uncomfortable it feels, and when you have dew points into the 50s, that is some dry air. So with clear skies in place, the winds pretty light to calm. We're going to start our Monday widespread 50s across the area, even some upper 40s if you're watching us in those colder valleys in the Ozarks. Mena, you could drop down to 49 degrees. You folks in the South Arkansas will also wake up to some very comfortable readings. Here's your forecast for the bus stop now on Monday. You may need a light jacket, but you'll be tossing it to the side very quickly because we'll see temperatures right around 80 degrees by lunchtime and highs tomorrow topping out into the low to mid 80s. 90 degrees though will be returning in my extended forecast. I'll have more on that coming up.
Today marks 21 years since the September 11th attacks, when hijacked planes crashed into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a field in Pennsylvania. Mourners are again gathering at the scenes of those tragedies, marking the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. Nearly 3,000 people were killed in the attacks that fateful day. Our nation's leaders were present at crash sites today. Vice President Kamala Harris represented the White House in New York. First Lady Jill Biden took part in the remembrance at the memorial near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and President Biden spoke at the Pentagon.
We raise monuments and memorials to the citizens whose blood sacrificed on these grounds and in Shanksville and Ground Zero, to keep touch of the memory, keep it bright for all the decades to come.
And in each of the day's ceremonies came the renewed promise to never forget. Here at home, the Little Rock Fire Department held their remembrance ceremonies in downtown Little Rock. This morning, a flag was raised at the Central Fire Station that flew at Ground Zero 21 years ago. Little Rock firemen say every day they remember the sacrifice of fellow first responders who ran into harm's way, knowing they might never return. Pine Bluff fire stations also took a moment to remember the more than 300 firefighters who were killed during those September 11th attacks. Tonight, THV 11's Frederick Price shows us how the department is honoring fallen heroes.
Anytime someone gives their life in a line of duty, that's the most honorable thing you can do.
On this day, Pine Bluff firefighters honor the thousands who heroically risked their lives to save people on September 11th.
It's our small token to make sure those members that lost their lives, let them know that they're gone but not forgotten.
Fire Chief Sean Howell, along with others, joined together at 8:58 Sunday morning to listen to the firefighters' prayer around the American flag. At 8:59, the time the South Tower collapsed in New York City, emergency sirens blared for 1 minute, followed by a moment of silence. As a firefighter, he says the tragic day will always stick with him.
It was just something that put all of us in shock and still is to this day, just to believe something of that magnitude could happen, here in the United States.
But even thousands of miles away from the tragedy, he admits his outlook on life changed.
It just continued to reinforce that we have to cherish each day.
21 years later, Howell says enough time has passed that people who were once children are now working at his fire station. 9/11 serves as not only a day to remember the lives lost, but a reminder to the young firefighters of just how dangerous their job can be.
To let them know that what profession they're getting into and what the family-like work environment that they're entering into.
Although this annual ceremony is small, Howell tells THV 11 it's important people never forget this day and the brave people who saved lives.
We support our local firefighters, our state firefighters, our national firefighters, and we often talk about the family. That's a family-like work environment, and this is what you do for family.
And Pine Bluff, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
And every single fire station in Pine Bluff participated in today's ceremony. And today is the 11th of the month, so we have a news story to share in our Buddy Check 11 Breast Cancer Awareness Report. THV 11's Wake Up Central's Karen Fuller looks at one way Arkansas women can get their screenings in the comfort of their own towns.
One of the biggest reasons why many Arkansas women are not being screened for breast cancer is access. Right now, more than 20 counties have no mammogram centers available, but that's where the UAMS Mammo Van comes in, or rather drives in to help. At first glance, it might look like an RV idling in this random parking lot in Cabot, but look closer and you'll see that this is no ordinary recreational vehicle. It's a specially equipped mobile mammography center.
So our purpose is to be able to travel throughout the state to provide access to screening mammography for patients who might have problems getting access.
Heather Kindy is the supervisor of the UAMS Mammo Van, a traveling piece of technology that brings breast cancer screenings to parts of Arkansas that lack a traditional clinic. The van is hard to miss, and that's exactly how Cabot hairstylist Lisa McClure first discovered it.
So I just worked right down the road here, and I saw it parked out here and decided to call the number on the side of the van and set up an appointment.
McClure says she's able to stay current on her breast screenings because of the Mammo Van. It returns each year and takes only minutes of her time.
I always encourage my clients and my family members and my friends, especially that are my age, to, if they haven't ever had it done, to come down here and have it done because it's not that hard.
Inside the Mammo Van, patients are seen one at a time by certified technologists. Results are mailed and received typically a week later. Kindy, who is also the specially licensed driver of this movable mammography mobile, says by visiting smaller communities in Arkansas, breast screenings are going up, while the number of women going without their screenings is going down.
We make it really hard to not have an excuse. We come to you, we make it very close, we make it very convenient. We try to get you in and out in around 15 minutes.
Lisa McClure appreciates the accommodations and the relief in knowing she's watching out for her own health every time the Mammo Van rolls through town. If you or someone you love has been touched by breast cancer, please share your story with me. You can reach out through our website, thv11.com. Karen Fuller, THV11 News.
Applause and tears greeted the hearse carrying the flag-draped coffin of Queen Elizabeth II.
She was a lovely lady, great mother.
As the nation continues to mourn her loss and honor her legacy.
I think it's just important to be here, just important to say goodbye.
It was a 6-hour journey from Balmoral Estate in Scotland Sunday to the Scottish capital of Edinburgh.
Queen's obviously been there for my whole life, so we just had to be here.
Mourners along the solemn procession are now preparing to usher in a new era, led by the Queen's son, King Charles III, who was officially recognized over the weekend as head of state.
God save the King!
The tribute to the Queen here at Windsor Castle has grown tremendously. The flowers outside the gate will be placed on the castle's lawn to greet the Queen in what will be her final resting place. Asiri Katanga met the Queen in 2016.
That was amazing. Something I treasure for life.
Just 2 days after the September 11 attacks, the Queen ensured the Star-Spangled Banner was played at Buckingham Palace during the changing of the guard. Years later, she visited the site to honor the victims.
I remember a message sent to the American people. Grief is the price we pay for love.
The White House says the president will attend Queen Elizabeth's official state funeral at Westminster Abbey in London next Monday. Danya Backus, CBS News, Windsor, England.
Tonight, we're going to check into one of the latest social media trends. What would you do for a good night's sleep? After the break, we'll verify whether or not mouth taping is safe.
We have actually quadrupled our bedbug calls from last year.
There's a growing problem around Central Arkansas, bed bugs. In 3 minutes, we're sharing what you need to know before you book your next trip.
A Razorback standout making a special Friday appearance for Central Arkansas kids. We'll show you how Moses spent his day at 519.
THV 11 News at noon begins with new details on this devastating restaurant fire out of Polk County. take a look at the smoke and the flames engulfing the iconic Old South restaurant in Russellville. Firefighters are now finished battling the blaze, but it took them most of the overnight hours to get it under control. We're glad you're with us on this noon. I'm Karen Fuller in for Journey Taylor today. THV 11 continues our coverage of the Old South restaurant fire. Our Brooke Buckner is on the scene in Russellville to show us the aftermath and how everyone is coping with this loss. Brooke?